we're in the foothills of being a communist state, but we're nowhere near there yet. I foresee, like I say, I foresee change coming. I like some of his ideas. We do need to coalesce around a political party. At the moment, that's Reform UK. Whether or not they're the party we need, we don't know. But at the next council elections, which is May next year, we'll see if Labour get a spanking, and we'll see what comes out of that. I just don't think it's as bleak as he thinks it is at the moment, and I don't think we need a scalpel to pop a boil. I think.
Well, I probably there's various stages for me in my political evolution.
You're still working on
yeah. There's various stages for me in my political evolution. One is, I think I told you, pre-COVID, where I had no freaking idea what was going on. Then there was the trans thing when my eyes started to open. Then there was COVID where my eyes really opened. And then you and I met and we talked and my eyes opened even further. But my eyes have opened even further in the past couple of months, because I think you're right. We've seen the naked reality of the state that runs us and how it works. And a fundamental point that you and I have discussed, and I see more and more people talking about now, is the fact that the British people have voted time and time again over the past 15, 20 years for a government and have given directions to that government what it wants to happen, and the government has chosen to ignore that. And this two-party state, this Labour-Tory government, which is basically one gigantic melange as far as I can see, has steadfastly ignored the wishes of the people, but the people have got nowhere else to go. So I think it needs to be a scalpel. I think we need a revolution. And now we're even in a situation now where me saying we need a revolution potentially could get me banged up in jail. So if that in itself doesn't tell you the story, that I can be banged up now for saying to you we need a revolution here to overthrow this government, because you're not allowed to do anti-government rhetoric now, are you? So I'm saying that. So I think you're right when you said to me then, wait till the council elections. You're still seduced by the idea that we're living in a democracy. It'll make no difference what happens in the council elections to the way we are treated.
Oh, not at the council elections. It will give us a flavour of the public mood and how that's going to react at the next general election. We don't need a revolution in this country. We're nowhere near wanting a revolution. Revolutions are the last thing anybody really should want. All should be the last resort, because you've got no idea what comes out of revolution. You can't control them. I wrote an article the other day on Iran, 1979 revolution, supported by the socialists, thinking they were going to end up in charge. That didn't work out too clever. Khomeini had a different idea on that. They thought he was their puppet. He had a different idea. So we don't need a revolution. Our system works. Our system takes time to change things, and it should take time to change things. Otherwise, you can get movements that come in like the woke agenda or the net zero agenda. You can change everything overnight because suddenly all the people want it. Well, we don't care what all the people want. These things need to take time and go through processes, and should take decades. We're at the beginning of change. It will take a decade or two, but I believe our system will work. I believe we'll get better politicians coming through. I believe the English and the British have seen the state of those parties and want better politicians, and will not vote for those parties with those politicians in them. We're just on a journey.
But there's no alternative at the moment. There's no alternative. And I actually, if you see film of North Korea, I was just thinking about this now. If you see film of North Korea, and you see what's he called, Jing Jong? I can't remember what the guy's called, the young guy who Kim Jong-il, is that what he's called? So, and he's spouting rubbish, and they're all clapping and applauding. Isn't that what's happening now? So we got Keir Starmer
to a certain extent
saying far right thugs, and then we have mobs on the streets with pre-printed. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
This is our reality now. people like me, people like you, who actually went out on the enough is enough because we're not happy with our government's policies around immigration or whatever, went out on the streets. Next thing, far-right thugs, blah, 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 it's Keir Starmer. You even printed a picture of him looking like Mao, didn't you? Next minute, mobs of government lackeys on the streets, pre-printed posters, stop the anti-fascists. What's the difference between those characters and the ones who are applauding Kim Jong-il in North Korea? They're the same. They're all government stooges.
Yeah, exactly.
They're frightened not to say the right thing, not to be there or whatever. In the same way the people who are protesting are frightened. There's the same fear there that we must toe the government line and say we must stop those fire. What is the difference?
There's not much of a difference, apart from scale, but we're nowhere near that. I think we will overcome this. We've overcome things like this before in the 70s. Calling for revolution is very dangerous because you cannot foresee the outcome. We could end up, the odds are we'll end up with something a lot worse if we had revolution.
I think I'm just calling for a proper democracy.
And
where the people we vote for, and I don't know how it's come about, Nick, where the people we vote for, and again, bear in mind this voting thing, it's like in Russia, you can only vote for Putin, can't you?
Yeah.
You know, who's going to win the election? Well, it's going to be Putin. Why? Because he's the only party, isn't it? You know what I mean? So he always wins, even though the numbers. So we've ended up in that situation now where you can only vote for one party. They call it the uni party, don't they? Which is whatever. You vote for that party, the party says, I'll do this for you, that for you, this for whatever, then doesn't do it. And then 6 years later, it's time to vote again. Well, I voted last time for it and you haven't done it. All right, but I'll vote. Right, who can I vote for? Same party.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
You're right, and that's where we've been now for a couple of decades.
Yes.
But things are changing.
Yeah.
Reform UK now have 5 seats.
Yes.
No one thought they were going to get any seats at the beginning of the election cycle.
Yeah.
They've got 5 now. 4 million votes. Labour only got 9.5 million votes.
Yeah.
So depending what Reform do next time, depending what the Tories do, this is politics. We can't have change overnight. It needs to be slow. And we've got to this stage now, slowly.
Yeah.
And it's going to take the same amount of time to get to somewhere better. We just need to realise things take time. We need to not give up. We need to engage in our political system until they change the political system, and then we don't use the political system anymore. Then you are looking at violence on the streets and revolution. But we've still got democracy. We've got a form of democracy at the moment, and this is the only game in town. And we will take back control. We will. Did you enjoy that video? I think you did. Come on now, hit that bell, subscribe, comment. Let's build this channel. I need more followers. I need more subscribers. Be part of the journey. See you soon.